Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back. So I've had my LG washer dryer combo for some time now, and I figure it's time to do a Q&A, I guess. So today I'm going to discuss the top 10 questions that I've been asked about this machine. But without further ado, let's get started. So just kind of a quick recap. This is a LG washer dryer combo, meaning unlike your traditional standalone washer and dryer set, you do not have to take your clothes from one machine and put them into the other. You literally just throw your clothes in, you start it up, and in no time at all, you're gonna have a completely washed and dried set of clothes. Utilizes a heat pump, which that seems to be the direction that a lot of these companies are going towards. It's ventless. It utilizes a 120 volt outlet, unlike your standard, dryer, which usually uses a 240, so it's very energy efficient. It does come with reservoirs so that you can fill it with detergent as well as softener, so roughly you won't have to fill this thing up between each load, which overall is very nice. Overall has plenty of room. It does come in this nice gunmetal gray color, which overall I'm a big fan of. But we'll basically get into our questions here. So the first one, which this is the one I probably get asked the most, is how long is a traditional wash and dryer cycle? And honestly, it depends. It depends on the size of the load, the soilness, and all that. But I have found that a traditional wash and dry cycle for my clothes is around 2 hours. So take that as you will. Some of the larger items, like for example, if I'm doing a load of towels or if I'm doing, like a really large blanket or anything like that, it may end up being more along the lines of anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. I always get asked, how does the auto-dispensing detergent work? Which that's a great question. We're going to talk about that right now. So like I said previously, it's all right here in this little top drawer right here, and it does allow you to fill it with detergent or softener. If you decide that you don't want to use the auto dispense detergent, like say for example, you have like a baby or something, or someone who's like very hyperallergenic and they have to use a very specific detergent, you can disable it and you can just use whatever detergent you want right here. There is also a spot for liquid bleach that is right here as well. But one thing that's very interesting about this machine is, say you don't use softener. I don't. And so basically this tank normally would go unused, but in this case, that's not true. So, I assume I'm getting mad at me, but you can actually go into your options here and you can actually link these two tanks, meaning that once they're linked, you can actually fill both with detergent, meaning that you have to fill this thing up even less, which overall that's great. That's a great feature. I did that myself, which, speak of the devil, the first detergent tank is actually empty and it's actually now started to pull from the softener one. So overall, I'm a big fan of that feature. I was very happy to see that when I first set this thing up. Next question is, where is the lint trap on this machine? So unlike your maybe older traditional dryer that you're used to, sometimes you'll see like the lint traps right here and you got to like pull the sheet out, empty the lint trap and all that. The lint trap on the LG is actually up here on the top, which I kind of like that. It's a little bit higher up for me, considering that I'm tall. And to access it, all you gotta do is just literally put your hand in here and pull it out, and there is the lint trap. And really, it's as simple as that. I know one of the complaints I've received is, well, say that, I guess for a great example would be like you have one of these shelves. I know some other homes, they'll actually have a shelf that sits a lot lower and basically to the point where it's flush with the top of the machine, which if you do have something like that, you're basically SOL. You're not going to be able to get one of these unless you pull the machine out a lot further, which that's going to look kind of weird anyways. But yeah, I know it's might be an odd spot for some, but for me, for my needs, I'm a big fan of it. Someone asked, can you talk about the Pedestal and would you recommend it? Oh boy, the Pedestal. So the Pedestal might be one of my favorite things about this machine, and let me tell you why, for a couple of things. One, it makes the machine a lot taller. So here's the G profile right next to it. And no, there's no pedestal there. But so I like the fact that the drum is so much higher because, if you're one of those, you're doing a lot of laundry, after a while, having to bend over all the time and having to grab your clothes and all that just gets really annoying. So I do love just how tall this pedestal is, but there's more to the pedestal that, we're about to talk about. So not only does this pedestal make your machine a lot taller, It opens up, has a nice little drawer, but it also has a little basket. It has a nice little like rubber, like removable basket. So basically what you could do, I'm doing this one-handed, so if I can get it back in there. So when your clothes are done, all you literally have to do is just take your clothes out. You can dump them right there into the basket, and then you can take it back into your room, and then you can fold it in, 7 to 10 business days like any normal person. But to answer your question, would you recommend the Pedestal? Yes, 100%. If you're going to purchase this machine, it already costs, kind of a pretty penny. Spring for a little bit extra and get yourself the Pedestal. It's going to do you a world of good. And another thing too that makes the Pedestal advantageous is it makes it a lot easier to clean out this filter that's down here, because normally this thing would be, almost flush with the ground, and it would be kind of a bigger pain in the butt to clean. But yes, get the Pedestal, folks. You won't regret it. Next question is this machine loud? Well, to answer that, here's a quick clip of some laundry that's actually in this machine and the thing is running, and let me know what you think. Overall, in my opinion, I think this machine is very quiet. It doesn't wake me up in the middle of the night when it's doing laundry. I could be downstairs doing stuff and I don't really hear the machine at all. So I think it's quiet, but let me know what you think. Probably one of my second most asked questions is, how big is this thing? So in terms of cubic foot space, this drum itself is 5.0 cubic feet, which overall that's a very decent size. And I'll kind of, I guess, add an additional question. So it's more like 11 questions I get asked is, can you wash like a king size blanket or a king size comforter? And the answer is yes. I actually have one right here, which I have to wash it anyway. This is Tuxedo's blanket. Tuxedo's my dog, by the way, if you haven't known. But literally, you can fit this king size comforter in here just fine. And there's still even a little bit more room. I don't like to add really anything else in there. When I wash this, this giant comforter and all that, I usually just stick with this, but yes, 5.0 cubic feet can fit a king size blanket. So no worries there, folks. Of course, the big question about this thing is, how much is it and where can I buy it? Which I guess that's technically two questions. I'm going to cover them both. So this thing retails for a smidge over $3,000, which I know, as I said, that some of you watching this video, you probably gasped. You're like, oh my God, I'm never going to spend that much money on, an appliance. I wouldn't either. I would not expect you to. So good thing about these things is they are always on sale, and especially around the holidays. For example, as I'm recording this video, Memorial Day is coming up, and you are going to see some hot sales on these machines. So I'm curious what some of you have purchased these things for. Hopefully you did not pay full price. If you did, I apologize. But yeah, never pay the full, MSRP for this thing. I've seen these things, I think, for as little as like $1,700 on sale, which that's awesome for, something like this that washes and dries and you don't have to worry about this, because that's my big reason for having, not only one, but two of these machines is I don't have to do anything. I just throw on my clothes and all that. I press the play button, power on, press the play button, and I go on about my day. I'm able to just, go to the gym, do what I need to do, go run my errands. And by the time I get back, I'll have a completely washed and dried set of clothes. And honestly, you can't beat that. So I've gotten some interesting feedback about the app, the LG Think app, or ThinQ, however you want to pronounce it. I believe it's actually pronounced the Think app, but people are like, why does this thing need an app? Why does my washer dryer need an app? And well, let me tell you. So the app, I am a big fan of the app. So not only with this app, I can go into the machine, I can actually power it on from my phone, which is actually kind of cool. But if I'm really feeling lazy, I can actually pick which wash dry cycle that I want all from my phone and send it right to the machine. And so that all I really have to do is I throw my clothes in there and literally everything's good to go. I don't even have to touch this dial at all, which yes, this is, if you want to, this is actually how you choose all your different wash and dry modes via this dial right here. But really, you could get away with not even using that dial. You could just show up, press that, put your clothes in, close up, press that button, and be gone. I also get asked, do my clothes feel damp when they come out of this machine? The answer is no. So if you've been subscribed to me for a while and you've seen my reviews on the G profile, you know that this one, your clothes will get a slight damp feeling to them until you like pull them out of the washer and like shake them out, and then they become instantly dry. It's like the weirdest bit of sorcery that I've ever seen. But this one is different. This one acts more like a traditional dryer, to where when you throw your clothes in, they will come out 100% dry. I've really had no issues in that department in terms of dryness and all that. But really, folks, that's it. There's, the top 10 questions I've gotten asked about my LG washer dryer combo. But once again, if you have any other questions, anything at all, feel free to drop them in the comments below. But hope you enjoyed the video, found it informative. If you did, hit that thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button somewhere over here down below. Helps me out a ton. But hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you.